You want your photos to feel cinematic, like stills from a film, loaded with mood and story. But getting that look isn't always easy. In this video, we're going to break down what actually makes a photo feel cinematic and how to bring that feeling into your own shots. Let's get into it. When we say a photo feels cinematic, we're usually talking about more than just nice light or good composition. Cinematic photos feel like stills from a movie. They hold a mood, a story, or a moment that feels like it's been lifted from a scene, as if you've paused a movie exactly at the right time. But it's more than capturing the storytelling of an image. It's also capturing the ambience, like how certain films have specific vibes that play throughout, and also creates part of the world that the main character or characters inhabits. And with street photography, that feeling comes from how your image is built. The mood, the ambience, the structure, the way the light creates atmosphere, and how the subject fits into the world around them, not just as the focus, but as a character in the wider scene. That's what we're breaking down in this video. Not just how to take good photos, but how to make them feel cinematic. Let's jump right in. Cinematic photos aren't just about good light, they're about mood. And mood isn't something you stumble into, it's something you build. It might come from a shadow cutting against a wall, the glow of a window on the pavement, the light highlighting your subject, muted colours, stillness. Whatever it is, you want the mood to be the atmosphere that every element of your photo sits within. If your photo looks technically fine, but still feels a bit flat and forgettable, it might be because the mood isn't clear. Cinematic images make you feel something because you can sense the world around your subjects, not just the subjects themselves. So instead of chasing subjects first, start by chasing the mood. Look for scenes that already feel emotionally loaded because of the light, the shadows, the stillness, the colours, or just the overall atmosphere. Ask yourself, if no one walked into the image right now, would I still want to photograph it? If the answer is yes, then you've found mood. Then when somebody does walk through, you're not just taking a picture, you're capturing a frame that already feels like part of a story. Sometimes you can wait for something interesting to happen before you press the shutter. But cinematic images often come from doing the opposite. Instead of chasing action, you build your frame first. You find a composition that already feels strong, the way the light falls, the background, the colours, the lines, the space, and then you let the subject walk into it. That's exactly how cinematographers work. They light the scene, they set the frame, and then the actor moves within it. You're not snapping a reaction, you're composing a moment before it even happens. This one shift, framing first, action second, can instantly make your photos feel more deliberate and ultimately more cinematic. And that's also because you've planned your shot deliberately, and you now know exactly what elements you want in the frame, including waiting for a particular kind of subject to enter the scene. And if you want more tips like this straight to your inbox, I've put together a free email newsletter. You'll also get discounts across my entire store just for signing up. The link is in the description down below. And please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I always appreciate it. One of the quickest ways to make your street photos even more cinematic is to shoot wider: 28mm, 35mm, and 40mm. Something that gives you space to build the frame, not just capture the subject. A wide frame gives context. It lets the viewer of your photos explore the environment, notice the details, and feel like they've been dropped into a moment from a movie. And even if you crop later for composition, the depth, the layering, the structure, it all comes from thinking wide. You're building the master shot, just like in a film. And cropping later, that's not fixing the shot. That's like choosing your close-up. Something I'd love to know: when you're out shooting, do you think about how the full scene will look? Or do you tend to focus more on capturing the subject? Please let us know down below. In a lot of street photos, the subject gets all of the attention. They're right in the centre, sharp, perfectly timed, and that can work. But cinematic shots often hold back a bit. The subject doesn't have to be the star of the frame right away. In fact, many subjects in cinematic shots, they feel like part of the cinematic world, not the whole reason for the photo. It might be the way the subject's lit, or how their body language fits into the frame, or even just how their clothing harmonizes or contrasts with the space around them. So instead of hunting for a dramatic gesture, think about how somebody's presence fits into the frame you've already built. That's what makes them feel like a cinematic character, not just a person who happens to walk past. Light isn't just about making sure your photo is bright enough. It's the single biggest ingredient in creating cinematic mood, no matter if you're shooting during the day or at night time. During the day, you might find hard sunlight carving out deep shadows and bright highlights, or a shaft of light catching somebody as they walk through your frame. At night, you get the drama of a window glow, neon lights, street lamps, or even reflections bouncing off a wet street or a car bonnet. The best cinematic photos don't just record light. It's there to set the mood, guide the eye, and create atmosphere. Start to notice where the most interesting light falls in your frame. When you look for those dramatic patches of light, whether it's harsh and bold or soft and mysterious, you're halfway to a cinematic image before anything even happens. So the next time you're out, try building your frame around the mood that the light creates. Ask yourself, what does the light make me feel? Where does it pull my attention? If you start with the mood the light gives you, you'll find cinematic shots in places you've never noticed before, day or night. Obviously, this isn't a hard rule. Different people have different ideas about what cinematic actually means. These are just the elements that I'm focusing on and the way that I'm trying to build that feeling into my work. Hopefully, I'm giving you something to think about next time you're out shooting. Before we wrap up, it's worth saying editing plays a part too. A photo can very much look like a still from a film, depending upon the colour grade that you use on your images. Colour grading can take a regular shot and push it into something more cinematic. I use my presets and tweak them a bit, mostly because I don't love editing. But if you enjoy that side of things, it's worth exploring classic looks such as orange and teal, or other kinds of filmic colour grades. Still, for me, the cinematic feel comes from what's in the frame, not just what happens after. As I said before, if you want more tips like this, I share them regularly in my free newsletter. Plus, you're going to get discounts across my store too. Link is down below. And if you haven't seen my last video on how to find the right subjects for your street shots, that's definitely one to check out next. Until we meet again, go forth and create.